the Afrozons show, and this is How Far.
Chilling with my girl, Sheila O. How far?
And How Far with Sheila O.
Sheila O. On How Far.
How Far.
How Far.
You're watching How Far with my main person.
Sheila O, baby. Tune into How Far.
The only place where hip-hop meets Afrobeat.
The whole package together. Then you had to kill them with DKT. No, stop it.
This is Femi Kuti. Tune into Sheila O on How Far. Ororororo. You will not regret it.
Watch How Far with Sheila O. Fridays and Mondays at 10:30 p.m. GMT +1 on HIPTV, DSTV. Powered by Star Rattler and Beirut.
Hey yo, how far? How far now? What's up, Wagwan? How you all doing? Hope you all keeping safe and living your very best lives. My guest today is Nana Kwame Badieko, popularly known as FREDOM JACOB CAESAR. He's a business mogul, real estate entrepreneur, industrialist, and philanthropist who hails from Accra, Ghana. He is the founder and the chief executive officer of the Quales Group. For over 20 years, he has been a successful developer in the Ghanaian real estate sector. He has developed about 500 residential buildings units in Accra. As the CEO of Petronia City Development, he's currently developing a 2,000-acre megacity in Ghana. He is the investor behind many upscale buildings in Accra, such as No. 1 Oxford Street and Quales Apartments. He was also awarded Forbes Best of Africa Social Entrepreneurship Leadership Award. My fellow African royalty, Cheddar, FREDOM JACOB CAESAR. How far now? Thank you so much for sitting down here with me. I call you Cheddar, all right, because I was introduced to you as Cheddar. But I'd want you to please let the audience know what your full name is.
My name is Nana Kwame Badieko, aka FREDOM JACOB CAESAR.
So why the name Cheddar? Where did that come from?
Cheddar is Kyedar, which is money, representing as money. It's basically the first African money that we came across. And I was born with a penniless, broke mother. My father was very rich, so I was born facing a curse. I had to turn the curse to gift. And so growing up, I got obsessed with money. Started off by her becoming my girlfriend.
Beautiful.
So by the time she was my wife, I was fully known from the streets as Cheddar. But many people do say the name Cheddar, it's just that they've never gotten deep into it. I'm not saying that I have money, I'm saying I am the money.
You are the money, I love that. And the name FREDOM, because I know most of your friends who are in the US refer to you as FREDOM. Where did that name come from?
So FREDOM, first of all, let me break down truly who I am. I think people should know.
Yes.
Okay, I started as a very poor kid from humble beginnings. And then I went from there to a hustler, from a hustler to a businessman, from a businessman to an entrepreneur, from an entrepreneur to a visionary, then / a nation builder. So I have these graduates. I have these degrees as a graduate in different levels. I've acquired all this. I've learned all these steps. I'm not the average kid. I'm not the average boy, and I'm not the average black person or African. I'm a universal being. I think for society. I think for human beings. And that's why I've gone through these stages. And by the time that I became a nation builder from inside, I had no choice but to crown myself as a Prince of Africa. And then the alter ego that came with the Prince of Africa was FREDOM JACOB CAESAR.
That is beautiful, I love that. But let's talk about your upbringing. You were raised, I read that you were raised by a powerful black woman. So tell us your story growing up.
Yes, my mother is a spiritualist. So when I was growing up, I grew up in only one way, one path, fearing the Lord. And that's how I found my humble beginnings. That's when I realized the value of human beings was more than me, myself. And so I started giving back to society. I go to church every Sunday. I even found the mistakes that the pastors do. I found the mistakes that my Sunday school teacher did. And I realized that we were not perfect. The only way that we see perfection is through our growth, and sometimes it's spiritual. And so that was the beginning of my growing. But then I was also very, should I say, maybe curious to see what was beyond creation. I was fascinated by God. I liked creation, but then I checked. There was nothing that they say God does that a man can do.
Yes.
They can't even make a leaf.
Yeah.
No matter how smart they are as a scientist and everything. So I said, okay, this is what I'm going to put my trust in. This is who I deal with. This is who I sit with. This is who I sort of share my problems with. And so it's been days of sharing tears and asking God to make me a better person, to let me become successful, to make me bring my mom out of this. And everything
has come to
got it.
pass.
Yeah.
So was there a dad in the picture at all?
Yeah, my father was always around. My father was extremely rich and a serial polygamist, but
The African way.
but you know, it's just the African way. I used to not really appreciate him at some point, but growing up, I understood after some time that, you know, you can't dislike people because of what they are or what they do. There are circumstances that make people become what they are, and so that is one thing that when you start to consider people and think of them that way, you discover the actual value of love. It's the only thing that kills the pain.
Yeah.
You know, you have to love people regardless. They might fault you, they might do wrong things, but you're just gonna look at them like a baby that is wearing a diaper and, you know, just put on herself without knowing. So you have to help them to change. And that's how we have to deal with human beings sometimes. And so you find out that it's not about the age sometimes, or it's not about the size or the structure or the position. You know, it's more to do with the heart, the mind, and the soul. How you control things around you, and you know, this is power.
Yeah. You're a young, successful entrepreneur. I really want to consider you a mogul because you're self-made. You know, that's a mogul in my definition. So can you give us a breakdown of what businesses you're into at such a young age? Because we know you were young, Cheddar.
Yeah.
So what is the breakdown?
I mean, look, my storybook is coming out and everybody's going to find out. By the time I was 8 years old, I had started my first entrepreneur business by having 2 animals, which is a cock and a hen.
Oh, wow.
And I just wanted eggs, and I turned them to 200 and something chickens in 6-7 months. So my parents would leave, my mom and my brother would leave over this. You know, by the time I was 11 years old, I was walking away from home and leaving everything behind, but going to another place. By the time I was 15, I was in England, furthering my education. 6 years down the line, 21, I made my first £1 million. I'm focused. You know, my mind is not to destroy what is here. My mind is to make the best out of what is existing here by appreciating nature and the human beings and getting into people's head. Whatever brains that is there, I want a part of it. But I'm also willing to share my knowledge. Of course, what is knowledge without sharing it?
Exactly.
You know, so this is what has really built me. And 2001, God told me to come to Africa. And at this point, there isn't any kid my age that has made £1 million that would say, oh, I'm going to put this money in Hawaii and I'm going to come to Ghana with £20,000. When every kid was dreaming to go to the Western,
That's right.
I was coming back
You're
home.
going the other way.
Yeah, and so people might look at me today, you know, I just turned 39. I've been here for a good 17 years, and I did not let God down. I didn't say, oh, it's too hard, I'm going to run away. I stayed. There have been a lot of thick and thins and, you know, up and downs and sorrowful days and happiness and everything. I stayed, but, you know, I realized that the mission was to bring Africa back on the map, was to be able to show people around the world that Africa is the only place that we have. And being black or being African is not a crime. No. It's just that, you know, they paint the wrong pictures about the continent, and it's affecting nations and countries and people. So that's what actually gave me the drive to become a nation builder. And I didn't look at presidents or governments or pastors to want to emulate them, to become them. It was just spiritual, you know, it was just spiritual. And the physicality of things was me working hard and seeing how many people are letting people down, even though all they have to do is push you to go out because you're really there. But they still want to pull you down. But they still want to
bring you down.
You know, and that's when you start to realize that your whole continent needs help. The whole generation, the whole nations, different countries, different people. Somebody needs to stand up for us. Hence, that's how I came up as the Prince of Africa. When I stepped in Hollywood, I stepped very strong. You know?
Oh, very strong. That's my next question, because you stepped in real hard. Like, you almost took my crown. Because, I mean, I'm a booking agent. I'm a on-air personality. I'm now in TV. You know, God has really blessed me as well. I was born in Lagos, Nigeria. Grew up in London. Went to University of Westminster. Got my degree, my master's. Really?
Yes. But
that's the connection. I went to the one in Harrow. I don't know which branch you went to.
No, I went to the one in the city.
Okay, good. Marylebone Road. That's the one you went to. I live in Chicago now, and I'm leading this movement, you know, whereby I'm trying to make sure that I tell the story of Africa right. But I also know that when you stepped into LA or Hollywood, you stepped in real strong, and you have real estate out there. major real estate out there. So my question on that is this: what are the pros and cons of doing business here in Accra, Ghana, and abroad?
Well, you know, Africa is quite difficult to do business here, and it's because of our level of development is still running behind schedule.
Yeah.
So the systems are not in place. You know, a great businessman love challenges. You have to overcome certain challenges in the business world for you to be on top of your game.
That's right.
You know, it's not the challenges coming over you. There will be no game. And so I love the whole challenge that happened in Africa, you know, in the beginning, and being able to learn how to study about land policy. You know, when someone wants to go into real estate, they might just think that it's about building properties and making money. You know, no, it wasn't like that for me. I wanted to know about the country's land policy. What is the policy of the land for me to be able to go into acquisition? I had to learn about contractors, you know, what really construction means. And you will find out that it says construction. You know, it's a little bit complicated there, you know. And so it went from that to development. And then I didn't have any banks helping me. I didn't have any government behind me. So these two people, I don't know very well.
Yeah.
A contract from the government, and neither have I ever had a loan from the bank.
Yeah.
So I had to use crowdfunding. I had to use my wisdom properly.
To generate your own capital.
Exactly. My wisdom was deeper than my pockets. And the hassle that I had to go through to do development, I ended up building my own industry. So I had my own construction company, my own development company, my own management company, and my own charity company. So, you know, these companies fall under Qualis Group, you know, and it tells you that we're building the new Africa. Because everything that was not in the system that people didn't know are the things that I learned about. And then in the end, it simply said, what is real estate?
Right.
Real estate simply says that selling functional spaces. So it doesn't even have to be a whole apartment building. It can be a bus stop.
Yeah.
You know, you can build 10,000 bus stops in a country that is functional, and you become very successful with it. You know, you can build markets. The things that we're worried about as Africans, that we say malaria is killing us, this, that, gutters are open, it's all construction.
It is.
You know, so if we really understand the definition of selling well-defined functional spaces, then we are deep in our business. And that's what I do. And so moving from Ghana to other countries, I always knew that I need to build Africa. I never thought of building Ghana as my own country and concentrating on. Just the same way I never thought as my family as the only people who are my family, but I always saw the nation as my family. And that's the same sort of thought that gave me a continent as my country. So, you know, I always wanted to build ahead, and I thought that whatever I do should be an example, you know, that can be sort of duplicated in other countries, a lifestyle that can be duplicated in other countries.
If you were in America, you would be a proper definition of what they call the American dream. You know, the reason I say that is because of the real estate that you acquired out there in Bel Air.
Yeah.
I mean, Bel Air to me is Fresh Prince of Bel Air. That's just how I know Bel Air. Like, so to know that you have property there and then you've actually going out there to do some stuff in Hollywood. Tell us more about what FREDOM is doing out there.
Okay, so that's nice. You're talking about Fresh Prince of Bel Air. So I was just going to erase that name. It's been 3 decades. It shouldn't exist.
It's still there.
Yeah, it's still there. So I came as Prince of Africa in Bel Air. You know, and people like, what's his name, Fisher, the producer who's doing Coming to America too. After sitting with me, these guys got different inspirations. I know what they're doing, but you know what? They should wait for what is coming. So, you know, going to LA was such a divine, because, you know, it's very difficult when you hear the inner voice talk to you. You say, go here. And you say, okay, I'm going. But you just don't pick up a bag. My first trip in my journey of life, I had a small duffel bag and my own small money for transport. I was traveling 346 miles from Kumasi to Accra, you know? Wow. And now I looked at myself going to LA. I was like, okay, get this Lamborghini, get this Rolls Royce, put them on the ship, let's go. bring my dog along. And I got there and I said, okay, where's the best place? Where do they stay? Where? This is Bel Air? Where? Yeah, okay. Pick this one up. Okay, pick another one up. But you know what? I'm just not going to live like a king or a prince. I'm going to turn it to business.
Yes, you are.
So that's what happened. And everybody
Yeah.
was like, okay. Drake was like, oh, who does that? I mean, it's just, I was like, oh, I'm a black Arab.
Yes,
you know,
are.
because that's like the Arabs have to do
Arab way
that.
of thinking.
You know, they fly with their cars and, you know, I brought mine. I had to create all that scenario. Not only that, but I had a lot of things going when I stepped there. I said, okay, we're going to do real estate. But for the first time, I'm going to build a supercar in the world. So look out for the car. It's called the FREDOM Tank.
The FREDOM Tank?
Yes, it's the first. I'll show you pictures after this.
I'd love to see it.
It's the first car that is bulletproof and fire rated proof.
Oh no, the two together.
Yeah.
Because it's either a bulletproof or yeah, but so that you have the fusion.
Yeah, so that and it's off-road and on-road.
What's that mean?
So it's a car you can drive in a bush, in a jungle, and come onto the road. So that's what the freedom means.
Nice.
Like, you know, I'm sending a message to them that with me, you're protected, you're shielded. You know, follow me, follow my lead, and you're always going to find new things that the world never found. But I know I'm going to get some interviews and they're going to want to ask, why did I do that? And I just want to tell them that, look, I was just fed up of seeing black people who are so well off and made. And if they had the chance to build anything, they go and build sneakers or t-shirts or perfume. Please, come on. It's enough of that. Start using your head right, okay? You should start using our head right.
Yeah.
If the opposite people are coming to us and telling us to endorse their products, what does that tell us? We must be that powerful and that important that they need us to endorse their product. Well, it's fine. How about you and I endorse our product?
Our product, exactly.
And that's what I just did.
Yeah.
You know, trying to open their head differently. I know you guys been seeing videos with people like Floyd and all this. I'm going to play your
Viral.
video. You know, with Floyd, like, you know, this is like Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X. Game recognized game and real do too.
That's right.
And that's what is happening with me and Floyd. Floyd is like Ashanti. You know, that's his tribe.
That is right.
Yeah, he doesn't know, but I had to tell him. Like, you know, because he flaunts. He's extravagant. He talks it. You know, that's Ashantis. You know, they come and take what belongs to you and then show it off to you again. You know, and I feel like my time in America shouldn't just be about my movie and my storybook and the business that I'm doing there, but also to help some of these black, well-defined superstars to find the roots of thinking, why do they behave that way? Why do they flaunt that way? Why do they do things not like the average, but there's something a little bit more about them? You know, I want them to also find themselves again, not just by getting money from talents, but also starting to use the money that they made out of their talents to build wealth.
I like that.
You know, I thought that nobody is giving them that chance, that opportunity so they don't rely on their talents alone. Relying on your talents alone, it runs out. You know, talents have a span. There's a lifespan in talents. There's a time that you are super powerful in singing, running, whatever. But it's going to be a time it all goes away.
Yes.
Okay? So the only thing that keeps you going after that time is you being that person that thought smart, not to rely on the talents alone, but now to rely on the wisdom that has given you things out of the talents and now putting it back into society as creating some sort of valuable entity, you know, which becomes a part of your legacy, adding value to society. Because a lot of people think legacy is about the houses we built or the albums we made or the clothes or the looks. No, legacy is more to do with the investment that you put in people. You know, in society, in countries, in nations. And so when you're not there, your absence is felt. And that's what I think, you know, I would do for some of these great Americans who are stars. And as I'm bringing back whatever that I went there to do home, I would take a little bit from them too. You know, box office sales, everything, you know, just like how I came, but I'll go back with more.
With more.
You know.
Chilling with my girl, Sheila O. How far?
And how far with Sheila O?
Sheila O. on How Far.
How far?
How Far. You're watching How Far with my main person.
Sheila O, baby. Tune into How Far.
The only place where hip hop meets Afrobeat.
The whole package Then you had to kill them with DKT. No, stop it.
This is Femi Kuti. Tune into Sheila O on How Far. Ororororo. You will not regret it.
Watch How Far with Sheila O, Fridays and Mondays at 10:30 p.m. GMT +1 on HIPTV, DSTV. Powered by Star Rattler and Beirut's.
Hey yo, how far? How far now? What's up, Wagwan? How you all doing? Hope you all keeping safe and living your very best lives. Welcome to How Far with Sheila O, where I go one-on-one with musical geniuses, entrepreneurs, forward thinkers, the powers that be, world leaders. I often travel the globe to go see these guys on How Far with Sheila O. Every Friday and Monday, 10:30 p.m. GMT +1 on HIPTV, powered by Feroz and Star Rattler.
The United Nations comes from here. It doesn't come from America.
No.
It comes from us. You know, we are the ones that we say Americans are welcome, Europeans are welcome, Chinese are welcome, Indians are welcome, everybody is welcome. And you know, we understand you, we love you once you're here. I think that is more of what we need to preach to the world. They need to understand that we have a free continent that holds people. If something happened in the world today, and 1% of the world or 2% or 5% of the world have to run towards this way, we will welcome all of them. You know, we're not even going to say all of you are refugees. No, we will welcome them.
Yeah.
It's home. And I think that's what people need to understand. Africa is a great continent. Hence, this is the reason why God sent me here. And the love I have for this continent and for these people is beyond people's imagination. You know, because I look at the struggle, I look at the pain, I look at the hustle, I look at what they go through, and I know it's deep. Somebody needs to really be there for them. So I don't want it to look like I need the Westerners to come here to entertain us or to, you know, I want the Westerners to come here and feel at home.
Yeah.
So that's what that party was about, me and Idris.
Okay.
And, you know, I wanted people.
In December?
Yes, I wanted, it's called Global Network
Right.
Party. And what we do is we choose the date.
Idris is an Idris Elba. I just want people
Yes,
to know that.
yes,
Okay.
Idris Elba. Sorry, you know, when you have friends like that, you don't call their full name anymore. Like I'd be like Floyd, and people are like, who's he talking about? You know?
Mayweather.
Yes. So I wanted, for the first time, all these people to freely jump around and dance without being worried of what paparazzi or cameraman standing there. And even if they're not dancing well, they're not worried because, you know, it was just an open air. An open floor. Freely do what you like. Nobody's gonna attack you. Nobody's gonna come grabbing you, and you know, and that's just Africa. And I was glad that at least we're able to send that message out that we're like 50 stars at one place under one roof, and they were all dancing.
Way more than 50 stars.
Exactly.
You have from Anthony, from Blackish to the Housewives of Atlanta to likes of Idris were there, Jadena. There were so many.
Absolutely.
There were so many. A-list celebrity from Hollywood that you hosted on your rooftop, and that was really a party, and everybody was relaxed, you know.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted anybody's autograph. Nobody wanted, everybody just wanted to just have a good time, and the champagne was flowing the
Yes.
Cheddar way.
Yes, and even the point, we stopped the champagne. We thought that the people would go away, but they still were dancing
there.
without drinks,
Stay
you know.
there, you
So,
get Idris to DJ for you. What else do you want?
you know, and Naomi
you were
was there.
dressed in your Arab-looking wear, the royalty that you were. I remember that, and it was such a great night, and I love that fusion. I really do.
Yeah, I thought it was good to see, you know, African Americans and Africans all in the same vicinity, in the same place, and just in and dancing and eating and doing whatever. You know, I think love should really be the main thing that spreads amongst us, more than competition. You know, the competition is not helping. It's actually breaking us apart.
Yes.
It's pulling us away from each other. If I have $1 million and you have $500,000, there's nothing I can buy that you can buy.
True.
You know, yet I'm a millionaire, you're not. And so it shouldn't be about who has more than who, because that's where the jealousy starts from. the competition.
Yes.
You know, and a great example is, I know this interview, I don't know where he's going to go, but, you know, when I saw Nicki,
go around the world.
yeah, when I saw Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, I mean, these two, I like them as ladies. I feel like they're self-made entrepreneurs who have made it, you know, to the masses, and the masses are following them. So these two people together have 100 million followers each. Two of them together is 200 million. It's like 5 countries in Africa.
That's right.
That's the population of the entire country. So these two people can have more power than 4 presidents in 4 different countries, because they can move crowd and they can influence and convince them. But instead of them using that, so if they came together and put their 200 million fans together and decided to find a way to sell a product or to extract $10 from them, $10 to support whatever that they're doing, that's 2 billion. Tell me one star that you know that is black that has $1 billion. No. But it's simply there. They could have done it. Yeah. Instead, one said, oh, I used to have 50 million. You didn't have it. Now you have 50 million, so I'm angry. That's where the fight is coming from. It's like competition. It's like one is catching up with one, so they don't like it. But why should it be like that? Exactly. So if they're hearing me now, please, they should think twice about what God is giving them is bigger than what you're giving back. All that millions of people and all that ended up in mock fighting. Yeah. Exactly, which is not class. This is not something that we blacks should be doing. And that's why I don't think it's just to do with Africa. It's to do with Africa and black people in general. We have a moment, we have a chance to gain a place and a great position in society. We have to take that opportunity to show that our great ancestors, all the Kwame Nkrumahs and the Martin Luthers and the Bob Marleys and the Marcus Garvey, they did a lot of hard work. Hard work. Yes, and we should try and continue from there. We should try and bring us together. We should try and see the value in each other. You know, I don't like what we do to our own people, really. And until the day that we start to have value for each other and truly respect each other and truly see what value that attributes to what we do in society based on where we're from, who we are, and how we're accepted globally. We can't do anything about it, and we will keep going the wrong way, because it doesn't matter whether you take somebody from Nigeria, Togo, or America and put them in a ship, send them to China. When you get there, it's only 2 definitions they're going to have for you: Africans and blacks. Yeah. There's nothing that it can't go away. You can even become Michael Jackson. You'll still be Michael Jackson. Oh yeah. You can take all your skin color off and turn fully white. You still be Michael Jackson. Right. So I have a color and I have a race. This goes to the world. I cannot do anything about it. I cannot change it. I cannot copy it. I cannot emulate it. I cannot disregard it. I'm an African. I'm black. And that's the only pride in me. And that's what I want the world to understand. Yes. That's what I stand for. I stand for my people. I stand for my nations. I stand for my race. I stand for my generation.
And you stand for me.
Us.
Cheddar, thank you so much. I really appreciate this interview. It was so great. Very enlightening and very powerful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.